Hi, my name is Daniel. In this session, we are going to learn about the degrees of comparisons and the types of degrees and the basic rules how to change a statements into various degrees. Students, what is the degrees of comparison? Degrees of comparison is that the three forms of adjectives and adverbs are called degrees of comparisons. As we all know that the adjectives like young, smart, beautiful, these are all the adjectives. And here in degrees of comparison we have mainly three comparisons. Those are positive degree, comparative degree, and superlative degree. What is positive degree? Positive degree is that when we talk about only one particular person or only one particular thing, that is called positive degree. Here we don't talk about any other group or any other person or any other thing. We talk about only one person. For example, see, Mohan is a tall boy. Here we are talking about only Mohan. We are not talking about any other guy or any other person or any other thing, right? So positive degree always we talk about only one person or only one thing or only one group. And in the same way, comparative degree. So the word itself tells that the comparative. So comparative means we are comparing, we are giving the differentiating. We are differentiating with one and another. So in the comparative degree, we may compare with the noun to different nouns and different things and different objects. For example, the train runs faster than bus. Here, the train is one noun and the bus is another noun. So we are comparing with two nouns. And the third one is superlative degree. What is superlative degree? Superlative degree tells about we compare more than two. We compare more than two or we compare with some group of whole. It's like lead is the heaviest metal. So when we compare with the metals, the lead is very heavy. So here we are comparing with the lead with the total number of the large group. We are comparing with the large group. So if you observe very carefully, in a positive degree, you see that the adjective, only one adjective, tall. But in the comparative degree, you could see that er is there, er, faster, er. And in the superlative degree, you could see that the article and the plus est form, the plus est. So in a statement, if you want to identify whether it is in comparative degree or superlative degree or it is in positive degree, it's a simple trick that just if the adjective ends with er and followed by than, it is a comparative degree. Faster than, smaller than, taller than. So these are all the examples of comparative degree. And superlative degree, it starts with the and est, like the biggest, the largest. Here the heaviest, and another example, the tallest. So these are all the superlative forms. So now we see the basic rules and what are the rules to change our statements into various degree forms. Like we must change subject and object as well as object and subject when we change a degree. Actually, there is no subject and object in the degrees of comparisons, but for our convenience, we are making subject and object. So whenever if you change a statement into different degrees, we must change the subject and the another part like object also. But if we want change the statement from positive degree to comparative degree or super degree, we must change the subject and object. This rule must be followed. But whereas if the statement is in comparative degree or if the statement is superlative degree and there is no change of subject and object, only we change the keywords and that est forms and er forms. Okay, let us see once this board very clearly. Now let us see a small table of degrees of comparison. As we discussed earlier, that there are three forms of degrees, like a positive degree, comparative degree, and superlative degree. Now take one adjective like big. The three forms of big is big, bigger, biggest. And the three forms of small is small, smaller, smallest. Here I told that already, if the adjective ends with er, then you could say that the statement is in comparative degree, and if the adjective ends with est, you could say that the statement is in superlative degree. And coming to this beautiful, see this adjective, it is a different adjective. Why it is different adjective? Because earlier these adjectives have big and bigger. It ends with the adjectives or ends with er, but in the beautiful and the confused, they are not end with er form. Why? What is the reason? Because big is a single syllable. It is a big is a single syllable, and beautiful is a three syllable word. So beautiful is a three-syllabic word. Like, so if a word consists of more than two syllables, so we have to add such words like more, most, less, and least. Understand? So that is the reason we write beautiful with the help of the words like more and most. So beautiful, more beautiful, most beautiful, and confused, more confused, and most confused. So this is the table of degrees of comparisons. And now we'll go for the first model. Okay, look at here. The first model, it starts with always no other. No other in positive degree, and in comparative degree with any other or all other. And in the superlative degree, it comes of all the rest with the all and est forms. Look at here. No other girl in the class is as clever as Saraswati. So, as I said that if the statement starts with no other, it is the one model of positive degree. No other girl in the class is as clever as Saraswati. So, in the previous session, I told that if the statement is in the positive degree, and if we want to change a statement to any comparative degree or superlative degree, we have to change subject and object and subject. Here, but actually there is no, strictly speaking, there is no subject and object, but for our convenience, we have to make some little changes. Suppose I took Saraswati as a subject. So, as per our instructions, we have to write subject become object and object becomes subject. So, just shuffling the statement, shuffling the words. So I started with Saraswati here. Saraswati is cleverer than any other. Here you could write any other or all other, no problem. Saraswati is cleverer than any other girls in the Saraswati is cleverer than any other girls in the classroom. Here I wrote Saraswati in the beginning of the sentence, and we are comparing the Saraswati with the girls in the classroom. So whenever you see the words ends with the adjectives ends with the er and then, you could say that it is in a comparative degree. Understand? Now the same statement, if you want to change in superlative degree, you could write Saraswati is the cleverest. Saraswati is the cleverest of all girls. So we are comparing with the Saraswati with all girls in the classroom. Understand? So this is the model of changing a comparative to superlative, superlative to comparative, superlative to positive degree. So let us move on to second model. Very few model. So in this model, in positive degree very few is there, and in comparative degree you will get most other or many other, in superlative one of the. Let us see how it works. For example, very few cities are as big as Vizag. Very few cities are as big as Vizag. So here you could identify that if there is a as big as plus superlative, as plus adjective, if there is as plus adjective, you could say that it is a positive degree. Look at here. Very few cities are as big as Vizag. So I took Vizag as subject and cities are an object. So there is, as I already told, that there is no object, but for our convenience to change the statement into comparative degree, we have to just shuffle it and see this comparative degree. Vizag. So I written here the Vizag here in the first beginning of the sentence. Vizag is bigger than most other cities. Vizag is bigger than most other cities. And next one. Vizag is one of the biggest cities. One of the biggest cities. Always remember that if you write one of the, it must be ends with es. One of the biggest cities. That is superlative degree. So we have these type of models in comparative degree, superlative degree, and positive degree. In the next session, we are going to learn more deliberately about the remaining part. Thank you very much.